In this lesson, it's talking about solving equations with variables on each side. So before we had problems like this, 2x minus 6 equals 14. And to solve that, we would say, okay, plus 6 on both sides. That would get me 2x is equal to 20, and then we'd solve. This time around, it's going to look like this. The difference here is that now I have a variable on both sides. Okay? It's going to work the exact same way. I can still add 6 on both sides. And now I have 2x is equal to x plus 20. The difference is before I can divide by my coefficient, I have to have these variables on the same side. Okay? So at this point, this is where some people tend to get stuck in their work. They don't know, okay, do I subtract 20? Do I divide by 2? Do I get rid of this x? What do I do? So I like to say, let's think of it as we have our like terms, and we need to get those to the same side. Sorry, let me try to move this so that the sun's not bothering us. Perfect. Okay, so we need to try to get those to the exact same side. So I'm not going to move this one, because if I move this one, then it will be gone. There'll be nothing over there, and we'll just have something on the right side and not the left. So I'm going to move this one. When you move a variable, I know that when we're used to variables, we divide or multiply. But when we're moving it to the other side, just like here we moved this to the other side, that's an adding or subtracting. Since it's a positive, we'd subtract. Well, 2x minus 1x, that would leave me with 1x, and the right side is 20. So x is equal to 20. When you think through these problems for checking them, what you would have to do is on this side you'd have to say 2 times 20, that's 40, minus 6, that's our 34. On this side, x is 20, plus 14, that's 34. If they come out to be the same number, you know it works. Okay? So like for this example, we had 3x is equal to x minus 8. We had to move the x to the other side so that we had the x's on the same side. Remember, like terms we want on the same side. So 3x minus 1x is 2x. We have 8 on the other side, and then solve for 4. One thing that you might want to know about this is no matter how you go to solve it, you're going to come up with the same answer. So notice here, I could start with adding 8. And I'd have 5t is equal to 3t plus 20. From there, I need to get these on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 3t, and I'd get 2t is equal to 20, divide by 2, and I get t is equal to 10. Maybe instead, I want to start by getting rid of the 3t. So I'd subtract 3t, and so I'd have 2t minus 8 is equal to 12. Now I have two constants. Here I had my like terms were the variables with the t and the coefficients. On the other one, my like terms are my constants. So I need to get those on the same side. So since it's a minus 8, I would add 8. And notice it should look very similar to the last problem now, and t is going to be 10. Notice we did the same steps, minus 3t, plus 8, just in a different order. Maybe you're not moving the 8 or the 3t. Maybe you want to move the 12. So I subtract 12. That leaves me with 5t minus 20 is equal to 3t. From there, I need to get these on the same side. I can't get rid of this one. I need to move that one. So minus 5t, that gives me negative 20 is equal to negative 2t. When I divide by negative 2, t is equal to 10. Make sure we're practicing with writing our variable first. That's going to come in handy before we get to our inequalities. Then on this one, the last thing that we could do first, we've added 8, we've gotten rid of, subtracted the 3t, we've subtracted the 12, so the very last thing we could do is subtract the 5t. So I have negative 8 is equal to negative 2t plus 12. Take away my 12 on both sides so that I get my constants on the same side. Negative 20 is equal to negative 2t. Divide, and then once again I get t is equal to 10. So no matter how you're solving this problem, you're going to get the same answer. Okay? Sometimes the problems can get a little bit more complicated, and they have fractions or decimals. They're going to work exactly the same way. So like on 3b, I could add 15 on both sides. That gets me 1/2 p is equal to 3/4 p, and then plus 12. From there, I want to get my p's on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 3/4 p and subtract 3/4 p. Those will cancel. On this side, I will just have 12 left. On the other side, now, in order to subtract, I need common denominators. So you can either just type that in your calculator, or I know 4 would be the common denominator, so that would really be 2/4. Well, 2/4 minus 3/4, 2 minus 1 is a negative 1. Keep the bottom number. To solve, you multiply by the reciprocal. Negative 4 over 1 times negative 4 over 1. And, oops, I lost my variable p. So p is equal to negative 48. Okay? So once again, it's the same type of problem, just with fractions. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but remember, you do have a calculator, and that helps out quite a bit. To check, remember, you're plugging in negative 48 on both sides. So you'd be typing in 1/2 times negative 48. Make sure you're using your negative button, not a minus. Then minus 15. Notice they even look different here. That's a negative, that's a minus. Okay, so that's what I get. Oh, and I didn't do 1/2. 1/2 times negative 48. I'm having typing issues today. Minus 15. So I got negative 39 on this side. Let's try it on the other side. 3/4 times negative 48 minus 3. And I got negative 39. Since it's the same on both sides, I know I have the right answer. Okay? And the last thing is story problems. You have to write the equation first, then solve. Okay? So in this example, you can kind of look through it on your own time too, but the key here is one thing it's talking about is personal trainer with 60 plus 25 for individual sessions. 60 plus 25 per session. The fitness club is 450 plus 10 per session. 450 plus 10 per session. We want to know when they will be equal costs. So you put an equal sign in between and you solve. One key thing to be looking at is sometimes the story problem, it might not be easy to tell what is going to be your variable, because it'll say things like this per day and then this per session, or things like that. So you want to make sure you're looking at, in the story, here it says what number of sessions. So I know I'm talking about the number of sessions. For example, number 3 said Redbird Cruises charges $85 per day plus a one-time fee of $75. King Cruise charges $100 per day plus a fee of $30. Write and solve an equation to determine for what number of days the charge for the cruises will be the same. So when I'm thinking this through, I'm going to say D is equal to days. And then my equation would be $85 per day plus the one-time fee of $75 and I want it to be equal to the $100 per day plus the $30 fee. And then you would solve, just like we talked about on all of the other problems. Okay? If you have any questions on this, let me know and I'd be glad to help.